For Charlie Taylor, however, the description applied almost perfectly, except that he was more than a clever mechanic. He was a brilliant mechanic, and for the brothers, a godsend. If Sister Catherine found Charlie's claim to know all the answers unbearable, Wilbur and Orville never lost sight of his ability and enormous value to their efforts. And he himself well understood how far beyond him they were in so many ways. As he later said, boasting about them, those two sure knew their physics. I guess that's why they always knew what they were doing and hardly ever guessed at anything. As for building the engine, while the boys were handy with tools, they had never done much machine work, and anyway, they were busy on the airframe. It was up to me. We didn't make any drawings. One of us would sketch out the part we were talking about on a piece of scratch paper, and I'd spike the sketch over my bench. His only prior experience with a gasoline engine had been trying to repair one in an automobile a few years before. But that January, working in the back shop with the same metal lathe and drill press used for building bicycles, he went to work and 6 weeks later had it finished. The motor had 4 cylinders with a 4-inch bore and a 4-inch stroke. It was intended to deliver 8 horsepower and weigh no more than 200 pounds, carry a total of 675 pounds, the estimated combined weight of the flying machine and an operator. As it turned out, the motor Charlie built weighed only 152 pounds, for the reason that the engine block was of cast aluminum, provided by the up-and-coming Aluminum Company of America, based in Pittsburgh. Other materials came from Dayton manufacturers and suppliers, but the work of boring out the aluminum for the independent cylinders and making the cast iron piston rings was all done by one man with a drooping walrus mustache working in the back room at the bicycle shop. Much to their surprise, they could find no existing data on air propellers. They had assumed they could go by whatever rule of thumb marine engineers used for the propellers on boats, and accordingly drew on the resources of the Dayton Library, only to find that after 100 years in use, the exact action of the screw propeller was still obscure. Once more, they were left no choice but to solve the problem themselves.